I'm Brielle, and today I'm going to be talking about why growing athletes need healthy soil. As an athlete, I know I need lots of good foods like fruits, veggies, grains, and proteins. These foods are extremely necessary in young and even older people's diets. If we have healthy soil, we have healthy plants and animals, which in the long run makes very happy and healthy people. I'm not someone who has very much farm knowledge, so I don't know much about soil. But after this essay, I've learned a lot more about what it takes and what's going on to keep your soil healthy, along with the crops that grow on it. Here are just a few fun facts about the number and variety of organisms living in the soil according to the USDA and other sources. 1 teaspoon of soil can contain around a million or billion bacteria. 1 gram of soil can contain as much as 75,000 species of bacteria, 25,000 species of fungi, 1,000 species of protozoa, and several hundred nematodes. Just the top 6 inches of 1 acre of soil can contain 20,000 pounds of total living matter. 1,400,000 earthworms can be found in just 1 acre of farmland. Most farmers test their soil, and that process takes place when a person from a company or office comes to your farm and takes a sample of the soil you grow your crops on. The results can take multiple weeks to come back, showing what types of bacteria and fungi are in your land. The most common are Bacillus, Arthobacter, and Clostridium. After that, you figure out what crop will fit your soil best for that year. The most common crops in Kansas are corn, wheat, milo, and soybeans. Your crops can determine how much money you bring in. If I were a farmer, I'd go corn so I could feed the chickens at the Tyson plant because I love chicken. Most crops get put into grain elevators. There's very little that goes to animals. We athletes eat a lot, and protein's a main part of our food group that helps with the muscle building and recovery process. Then there's fruit. If we didn't have good, healthy soil, what we plant are trees, bushes, and plants to grow our fruit on. Then there's veggies. Veggies grow straight out of the ground, as well as the crops we give our animals. There are many steps to survey soil. Like the National Cooperative Soil Survey identifies and maps over 20,000 different types of soil in the United States. Most soils are given a name, which comes from where the soil was first mapped. The soils that are named are referred to as the soil series. Soil survey reports include soil survey maps and the names and descriptions of the soils in the report areas. These soil survey reports are published in the National Cooperative Soil Survey and are available to everyone. Soils are named based off their chemicals and their horizons, or their layers. Soil taxonomy uses properties of the surface 2 meters deep to key the soil into classification systems to help people use soil information. This system also provides a common language for scientists. Soils and their horizons are different from one another, depending on how and when they are formed. Soil scientists use soil factors to explain how soils form and to help them predict where different soils may occur. Scientists also allow for additions and removals of soil material and for activities and changes that continue in soil each day. Soil testing can keep a healthy life by making sure there's no parasites and bacteria you can't have. Organic veggies and fruits are way better for the body than ones with preservatives. You can find local suppliers for your fruits, veggies, grains, and proteins. Every day, athletes should eat 5 cups of fruit to keep their blood sugar up and make sure they're getting their vitamins. Athletes should eat 3 to 4 cups of veggies, keeping their sight and bones healthy. Then there's meat. Meat is very important for your bone health and building muscle mass. We should eat a palm size of meat a day, depending on your body size. Finally, there's grains, which usually come in carbs like pasta, bread, or even potatoes. Most athletes eat carbs the night before games so it sticks with them. Another healthy way to keep your soil fresh is cover crop. Cover crop is a crop that has lots of roots to cover your ground to make sure there's no erosion, suppressing weeds. It reduces soil compaction, increases moisture and nutrient content of soil. It improves yield potentials, attracts pollinators, and provides beneficial habitat to insects and wildlife, as well as food to animals. A second option is crop rotation, which is a process where every year you put a new crop on your land instead of keeping it the same. If you've noticed, every food that I've listed that's helped athletes in some way that comes from soil. Soil has a lot to do with the health of our bodies. Now you have to think, what else in our life comes from soil? The wood that we use to build our houses once came from trees that grew in nutrient-rich soil. The ground that we use to build our hotels, schools, houses, and office buildings has to be firm and rich so that it'll hold up all the weight of our belongings. Lots of families around my area revolve around soil, like the farmers and ranchers. The cattle graze off the grass that was once grown out of soil, and the families sell the cattle for money. Some families even grow crops. After harvest, you sell the crops for money. So the moral of my story is if the soil is healthy, then we as people are going to be healthy. So that all comes back to healthy soil, healthy lives. Thank you.
Brielle, was this a hard sell for your friends who are also athletes to talk about the importance of uh, soil health when you think about the criticism of, eating too many carbs these days or being too much red meat, things like that. But how do you talk to your friends about the importance of soil health? Because I can tell you're a fan of it and you're an athlete, you say. So what do your other athlete friends think about your passion for soil health?
They agree. They think that the soil is very important. I have a lot of farm friends and they all grow the crops. A lot of them donate stuff to the school. So on game days, we can have good meals before we play and just make sure we're eating healthy.
Organic, you said was considered a better product.
Yes.
Some of the more traditional type of. How good of a selection do you have where you're located to get a hold of that kind of food resource?
I'd say it's honestly probably harder where I'm from because I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. So we just get what we get unless you grow stuff like on your trees at home. Like a lot of people have fruit trees. Like we have a peach tree in our backyard. We have our garden. A lot of people have gardens. So
Do you practice any of the soil health principles that you were talking about in your garden? Do you try to add cover crops like now while it's time for
we take our leftover grass from our yard and we put it over so the soil stays moist.
So without naming names, who would have helped mentor you on this presentation?
My teacher, and I'd say my mom, my dad, my aunt. Thank you.